Welcome to another Minneapolis by Night. This is the Mage edition. This will be a mage scene primarily, although it does involve Marcella Giovanni as well. We have Vittorio Giovanni, who has had a couple of encounters recently with Marcella, and has something that he would like her to assist him with tonight. So he is heading over to her house to see if she is interested in joining him for the evening. And
Okay.
Marcella, you would probably notice when he pulls up because he is driving the hearse from the cemetery.
He must have gotten my package.
Uh,
That's
he does
exactly what she would think.
he does walk up to the door and rings the doorbell very politely. You notice he's actually just in a suit and tie. He has opted to not wear any of his regalia.
Yeah, well, and you'll find it very odd for once she's opted to answer her own door.
Marcella, good evening to you.
Good evening to you. Did you get that gift?
I did. I thought it prudent to bring appropriate transportation.
I noticed.
I also have something I would like you to that I think you might be interested in, something I was going to investigate this evening.
Oh, what's that?
Well, I have rumors that a building uh, currently now considered a art museum, but through some of my historical digging, turns out to have once been a soap factory and is rumored to be haunted. That perhaps more than just animal carcasses were used at various times.
Huh. Well, that does sound fun.
So, furthermore, I suspect the part that is more relevant to me is that if that is indeed the case, it is probably a significant wellspring of energy for me, and one that most of my kind are not visiting, or not likely to visit. However, if it does indeed turn out to be haunted, I figured it might be prudent to have a member of the family more experienced in dealing with the various varieties of the dead. I just put things together and prop them up in the corner, if you will.
Prop them up in the corner. Okay. Now, you do realize what her path is, right?
Yep.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. All right. So we're going. We can do this. However, I think. Would you like the rest of your gift now or later?
Oh well, either one. The I do have appropriate storage in the car.
Oh, they're stored quite well.
Well, then I can certainly pick them up when I drop you off as well.
Yes, I don't think you'd want to be riding around with these.
Well, depending on the condition, maybe not.
Um, she just says pieces.
Perfect. Much easier to work with that way.
I thought you'd appreciate that.
Well, I suspected, uh, given the first one I received.
Don't worry, it's not too bad. If things need to be put back together, they can be.
Well, of course, in many interesting ways. He'll
all all smooth incisions. Don't worry. Highly professional, if I
well,
do say so myself.
there's something to be said about good quality work. He gestures to the front door. He kind of heads out, just assuming you go with him.
Oh yeah, she'll walk up behind her.
He makes a point of opening the passenger door for you, waiting for you to get in.
Thank you. And she'll climb in.
He closes the door and goes and gets in the driver's seat. Roll me a perception alertness difficulty 8.
Okay. Let's see. Detail oriented?
No.
Okay. Difficulty 8? No. Dang ones. Yeah, I had a 9 and an 8 and then 2 ones, so nothing.
So you don't really notice anything, but you hear him in kind of a scolding tone. He says, "Zeta, get down from there."
She, like, looks around when he says that.
And you notice the hand that had been gripping the steering wheel scurries down off of your shoulder. And
Okay.
sits on the armrest in between.
A new pet?
He looks at it, looks at you, and says, "Well, it's intended as a gift for you, but one that apparently has a bit of an attitude." Although then again, I designed it for a kindred master, not for myself.
She just, like, looks at it. What's it supposed to do?
Zeta kind of like curls her knuckles almost like a bow, and you notice that the hand on the back of the hand is like an eye tattooed. Only it's not a tattoo; it's an actual eye with tattoos around it, so it looks like a tattoo.
Okay.
And then almost like a dog would. It flips over like a dog rolls over to show you its belly, and on the palm is a hand or is a mouth with small needle-like teeth.
Oh my.
And he informs you that Zeta is a piggy bank of sorts, if you will, in case you can't get out yourself. And as he's given to understand that the family members of your variety tend to have some drawbacks to traditional dinner methods. Zeta can be an alternative if you need something more certain.
One moment.
What? Ah, I see.
That would be what Zeta looks like.
So it's a hand with an eye on the top and a mouth on the palm.
Yep. And I will...
With an attitude.
A little bit. And I will get you the exact write-up.
Okay.
But then he starts driving down to the river.
Down to the river?
The museum, or it's an old warehouse that's been converted into a art museum right on the river.
Okay. She'll glance at Zeta every now and again, like, oh yeah, that's a hand. You said it had an attitude, so yeah, she's gonna keep an eye on where you're going, but she's keeping an eye on this hand at the same time.
And Zeta is kind of now settled almost into your lap. You know, that she's calmed down and she's sitting next to you. And he kind of chuckles a little bit and looks at the hand, looks at you, and says, "I think she likes you."
Yeah, we'll find out. She kind of reaches down and, like, gives the hand a small, like, tap, not poke in the eye. She'll, like, lightly touch it with her finger. Like she's petting a dog.
And it seems to respond to it quite a bit.
Okay.
And he pulls up. You notice she actually is parked in, not like the parking areas for the art museum, but down on the river more, where there's like a walking trail.
Okay.
And he leads you up to a service door. And he says there's fewer cameras here since we're engaging in an after-hours visit.
Yeah. Lack of cameras would be key.
He stops at the door and pulls out a set of lockpicks out of his pocket. And apparently he picks the hell out of the lock.
Yeah, I'd say so.
And opens the door and kind of motions for you to kind of an after you type motion.
Should go in.
I'm assuming Marcel is not carrying a purse or anything.
No.
So you would notice that Zeta has actually climbed into Vittorio's pocket temporarily.
Nice.
And it's kind of just got the fingertips looped over the edge, so it can kind of peer out of his pocket. And he leads you in. And he says, as far as I know, the camera system's primarily out on the display floor, and we're headed to the basement. I had to do a little prep work.
Oh, basements are fun.
He leads you down, and at the bottom of the stairs there are a number of large power tools covered that look like they've been recently used, like a big jackhammer and concrete saw and stuff. And he gestures to it and he says, I had to do some, as I said, I had some preparations.
Okay. What kind of preparations have you done?
He says, well, down the hall, the third storeroom on the right has some drainage pipes that run through it. And according to the old blueprints I could find, that was where basically the remnants were flushed.
Yeah, they weren't bad. We should totally just get new shoes, I think. Okay. I can deal until then. Yeah, I could deal until tomorrow.
Okay.
But that area has apparently...
I'm barely making it as long as I am today, and hopefully I'll be able to stay up as long as I need to.
Alright, I don't know if you're aware, but you're not muted.
I'm aware someone's talking to me IRL, so I'm kind of muted at the moment.
You are not muted. I can hear you just fine.
Oh. Well, then the mute button on my mic isn't working.
You're sitting here just like, okay.
Sorry, the mute button on my mic isn't working.
No worries.
Okay.
He says, well, and from what I've gathered, that was kind of the dumping point, and they didn't necessarily follow all the eco-friendly disposal policies we have now. I did find some mild pieces and parts, but I do not know what might become of it if we stir it up. Would you care to find out?
Let's.
He walks down the hall, and he's got a couple of shovels in his hand, and he says, don't worry, I'm used to doing the grunt work on this part.
She just chuckles.
Um,
I'll help if you need it. There's no point in me being here if I'm just gonna stand here.
As you get closer, I need a perception alertness, and it's hearing based.
Okay.
So I don't know if you have aspects or anything that would
Nope.
be relevant.
I got one.
One. You can hear, and I suppose we'll have him roll it to see if he notices.
I mean, if we got lace ones, you can just...
He hears it as well, and he looks at you, and from down the hall you can hear chanting of some sort.
Chanting?
Yes.
Male's voice, female's voice.
It appears to be a combination of the two.
If I do get you lace ones,
Okay.
figure out a way to times more people.
And he kind of picks up his pace a little bit.
I think they're better than them because...
Noting that he's picking up his pace, she'll keep with him.
As you get
Wally.
almost through the door into the storeroom, you hear rapid footsteps, and you hear one of the voices say, "I think someone's coming."
Hmm.
He stops at the door and looks at you, kind of raises an eyebrow to see if you want to go first or if you'd like him to lead the way. And he kind of shakes his head a little bit and mouths the words, "I have no idea."
Okay. You said you had 2 shovels in hand?
Yes.
She motions for you to give her one.
Okay. He'll hand her one.
That way she has a weapon if need be. And she'll be like, alright. She'll motion for him to go ahead. Push it
Okay.
open.
He opens the door. He tries to do it quietly, which he fails miserably. And it seems like the bottom of the door hangs up on the concrete. It just grinds wide open, and then it seems to release and fly and bounce against the wall behind it.
Cute. Alright.
And you see him mouthing swear words under his breath in Italian and in English.
Okay, I understand every word of what he just said. So what's inside the room when the door gets pushed open?
Well, most of the lights appear to have been disconnected. There's a lot of storage crates pushed along the walls. In the center, you can see the concrete floor had been cut out. You can see bits of what look like whitish material sticking out of the dirt underneath. But more importantly, is a circle with some sort of symbols inscribed, and there are 5 bodies laying around it.
Oh. Oh boy. And it sounded like there was someone in here, but I don't see anyone
Correct.
other than bodies. Okay. She just gives him a curious look, and she whispers, "There's nobody in here."
He kind of shrugs and looks around, and he says, "None living, at least."
Correct.
And then he kind of looks at the floor, and you can tell he almost like a shock, draws in a breath, like he's shocked at first.
What?
And then he kind of starts to advance in slowly.
She's still got that shovel in hand, ready to swing if she needs to. She'll follow him.
He gets up there and he kind of gestures to the bodies and says, "Well, I'm no mortician, but it doesn't look healthy."
She's looking at him. She's looking at the bodies like, how long do they look like they've been here? You want me to roll intelligence medicine or something?
Yeah. Medicine or investigation, whichever is more
Medicine's higher.
There you go.
And it's specifically dealing with dead things.
Well, then it would be applicable.
Alright, 7. Oh. Okay. You said, what's the difficulty? 7?
Standard.
4.
You can tell just by looking at them that they're quite recently dead. More importantly, you notice that there's symbols on the bodies, on their foreheads, similar to the ones in the circle. And they all appear to be drained of blood. However, they obviously are quite fresh.
Like still warm?
Yeah.
Well, they're still very, very warm, which means whoever did it hasn't been able. I mean, it hasn't been that long. They've got to still be around somewhere.
He looks around and he says, "Well, I'm not real knowledgeable in rituals, nor am I an expert on security systems, other than manual locks. That's all I've ever had to deal with. But we do have a new member in the area who might be of assistance here if you have no objections.
If you think it will help.
Well, I mean, we can dig into the bodies, but I'm looking for more information on who they are or how they got here.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
and that's when he will call Miriam. So,
Ring,
Mir-
ring, ring.
Miriam, your phone rings.
All right. Right before you're about to ring her, she rings you because coincidence.
Okay.
And as soon as you pick up, Miriam says, "Vittorio, I have news that needs to be given to the chorus, and that effect I rolled for is a minded correspondence effect. So as soon as you talk to her, she should be able to know where you are."
Okay. Well, he wouldn't be trying to hide himself, nor do I think he can, because he doesn't have mind.
Well, it's more correspondence. I need if as soon as you talk to me, I'll have enough of a mind link that I can pinpoint you with the correspondence effect.
Okay.
Because I only have mind one, so I can't pinpoint you without any link. So.
Right. He doesn't have a correspondence at all to Shield, nor would he anyway. But he says, "Well, that's perfect. I was hoping you could assist me on something."
Excellent. I'm on my way. Click.
He kind of looks at the phone, and he looks at you, Marcella, and he looks at the phone again, and he goes, shakes his head, puts the phone in his pocket, and he says,
Enthusiastic?
"What's that?"
She said enthusiastic?
Well, a little bit more unusual member of our tradition. And then he chuckles and he says, "Who am I to talk?" And he kind of looks down at the bodies and gesture, that maybe we need to get them away from let's get them away from the cut concrete first, out of the circle, and then we can go from there.
Okay. Oh, all right. Well, we can, where do you want them? Just elsewhere?
Well, perhaps over by the door for now. I imagine we shouldn't leave a bunch of bloodless bodies laying around.
No, we would not want to do that.
I think some of those of your nature have policies against that and such.
Well, I mean, I could, feasibly just, let's see, oh no, that one isn't it. Is this one or multiple? Nope, that one's just one. I'm looking at some of the necromancy stuff for the Bone Path, Apprentices, Booms. I thought it was can make them move multiple, but that's Shambling Hordes. So she'll just say we can move them.
Okay.
Unless we want a zombie army just in case something else is going on here that we don't know about.
He says, "Well, animating all of them temporarily I could do, but requires some focus and permanently requires more than I can commit here."
Oh, I could raise them if need be. Oh, so wait, here, it doesn't actually matter. Shambling Hordes or Apprentices Booms, it's still one vitae. It's the same roll.
You have to do them separately with the...
I have to spend one vitae per thing. I don't think I know I can't spend 5.
No, you've got an emergency supply with that hand.
I do. I could. So, maybe she can physically make them move themselves. I mean, we can move them, or she can make them move themselves. either way.
Well, I mean, he'll start moving some of them, but
Yeah. When it comes to moving
oh,
them out of here, it might be a different story.
yeah.
So moving them towards the door, she's not going to waste the blood on.
All right. And by the time they're moved to the door, Miriam will pull up with her station wagon and make her way inside because she's got a direct pinpoint on where Vittorio is, thanks to the correspondence.
Yeah, and you'd be able to pretty much figure out the quickest way to him. You'd find the back door unlocked, the service door. So
Straight in with a beeline.
So you would come in to find him standing over four bloodless corpses and a young woman standing next to him. The center of the concrete in this room has been cut out, so the dirt is exposed underneath, and there's some sort of white object sticking up through the dirt. And around that hole, someone has painted some sort of ritualistic circle.
Well, it looks like you had a Meshuggah Wednesday night.
He kind of raises an eyebrow a little bit, but he says, I had something.
Yeah. We only met briefly, Vittorio.
Yes.
Yeah. Who's your friend?
Oh,
This is a cousin of mine.
I'm Marcella. And she,
Miriam will...
go ahead.
By the way, you feel uncomfortable around Miriam because she has true faith.
Okay.
But she does not have crosses.
No, she's
good.
got a symbol of a Kabbalah around her neck, but she's not bearing it. So,
Well, that wouldn't be as big a concern anyway.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, well, she'll still be polite despite the true faith feeling, because she seems to be surrounded by a lot of that lately. And she'll just shake your hand, reach your hand out.
Miriam will shake it.
It's cold as ice.
Miriam doesn't seem to react because she's been dealing a lot with the vampires lately.
I just have frost touch, so I figured I should point that out.
Neat.
Oh, she's got a lot.
Miriam Cohen of the Celestial Chorus.
Mm-hmm. Pleasure to meet you. She glances at Vittorio. So,
Yeah, he looks first at Miriam and says, "Well, we found them this way, and they're relatively recent. So I'm wondering if you can perhaps check security systems or that sort of thing. See
You
if
got it.
can't identify who else was in the building with them."
You got it. Miriam will look around. Are there any security cameras or sensors in this room?
Not in this room, but there was one on the back hall when you entered, and there would have been there would have been obviously some on the floor.
One thing she's going to do now, before she leaves the room, though, is she's going to bring up a correspondence ward.
Okay.
She'll want a bit more successes than that. So she's running her thumb along her necklace and looking kind of distant for a moment, and then she turns to Vittorio and says, I found a technocracy base in the city.
He says, well, I'm sure there's a couple, but that certainly is something we should probably discuss.
Yes, it is.
Although, maybe not here.
Probably not here, but it's what I thought you should know.
Well, the two of you were talking.
The sooner that news spreads, the better.
Well, the two of you were talking. She's actually looking over the spot where the assumed ritual had taken place, where these markings are.
Sure.
The bodies were surrounding.
Intelligence occult, and a perception awareness.
Okay, so...
And as soon as that news is spread, Miriam drops the ward and heads off for the security room. She
Okay,
just
that
really
was
wanted to make
the
sure that wasn't that sentence wasn't spied on.
Yep.
that's the intelligence occult,
Okay.
and then you needed a perception awareness.
Yep.
No. Good God, no. Look at that. That's terrible. All those
Is
ones.
that a double botch on perception awareness?
I think you have to have no successes to have a botch. I have one. I think, unless you're doing
I don't know
something else.
if it's no or if it's more ones and success. I don't recall.
I've had it done both ways, where where if you have a success and ones, that it doesn't do a botch, or if you have no successes and ones, it's a botch. So I've had it done 3 different ways. It just all varies. So it's entirely up to you as to whether you want to call that a botch or a fail.
We'll go with a failure.
Okay. So yeah. So the first one I at least had 3.
So you would definitely know that this was some sort of actually kind of a necromantic ritual. And it looked like they were trying to use blood to fuel it. But it appeared to be to summon spirits of some sort.
All right, is the security room locked?
It does have a key, like a key fob. She could swipe a key fob on there.
Yeah.
Or it's an electric strike.
All right, pop the casing off and just bypass it.
Okay.
That's a reasonably easy with computer hacking.
Yeah. Or electronics, or about 12 other options.
Well, she's going to have to try for a while. Unless I'm getting lower difficulty because it's a secondary.
Well, it's a standard. I'm starting as a standard dish, so.
Yeah, so I'd get lowered because I'm using the secondary. Because I have computer hacking as a secondary. Yay.
Oh, okay.
So, head into the room and try to pull up the logs for it, so I'm going to have to do it again. And yeah, I'm just looking through security footage for the last couple of evenings, trying to see who went to that room.
Okay. And you are able to see what looks to be it takes you a little while shifting through videos, but you find they did enter, and they actually came through the main floor. And they kind of were moving around like they were trying to find a certain spot. And when they stood kind of in the center of the main floor, they stopped, and then they went down the hall looking for a stairwell and went downstairs. There was the 4 of them, as well as 4 others that were dressed similar, and then there was one that looks to be dressed a little more exotically, if you will. Almost stereotypical of a quote-unquote mage.
Okay.
So there were 5 others who are not here, or are not bodies.
Yeah, Miriam will stick it on a thumb drive and head back to Vittorio.
Does she take the original, or does she leave the original too?
Oh, she's leaving the original. She's trying
Okay,
to. She's trying to. Yeah, she's trying to not. She's not going to destroy the evidence until she's told to.
Okay.
But that's a reasonably easy thing to do.
Yep. Michelle, you would know that, like I said, it was a ritual fueled by blood intended to summon a spirit of some sort, although what variety you're not quite sure.
Okay.
Um,
Oh. Well, they're looking to summon some kind of spirit with some kind of blood magic. I'm just not quite sure what.
he
Miriam comes in at that point with the thumb drive.
and Vittorio is standing over the dirt edge and kind of looking down at the dirt and bones, and he's kind of shaking his head, and he goes, "I don't even understand how this is possible."
How what's possible?
He
She's looking up at him.
he gestures to the dirt, and he says, "This should have been a nexus of energy, and it's a corpse." He says, "The bones here that I had hoped held more than simple bone are just that. They're just the remnants." He says, "The wellspring is dried up, for no lack of a better term." And then he looks at Miriam and he says, "Do you see it?"
Miriam will look around and she'll bring up Prime Sight, try to see it.
Okay.
What does Prime Sight tell her?
Well, you can see, and his description's actually fairly apt. There's basically, it looks almost like a supernatural crevice. Like at some point there was something here, but it's gone now. The circle, the runes do seem to have some um, lingering resonances, but that too appears to have been dried up, or it's in the process of bleeding off, basically.
It's like someone's ripped all the Prime out of the room.
And he gestures to you, Marcella, and he says, "Yeah, I don't know entirely what capability you have with race, but there are
I
the ones I expected to find tethered to this room are not. It's as if their fetters have been bled dry as well."
am unfortunately that's something I'm working on. I'm more in tune to dealing with, and she points at the actual corpses.
He says, I understand. I
But
tend to straddle that line because of my different ability set, but
I'm working on that particular end of things with Marcello actually as we speak. So,
roll a
go ahead.
perception. Let's go with alertness, and that can be everybody in the room. And what the hell, Will?
I got one.
Vittorio fails it.
Miriam barely makes it.
I got one as well.
The out of one corner of the room, both of you will see and I can't seem to get my computer to cooperate, so we won't have an image, but a almost twisted humanoid figure kind of shambles out, um, and Miriam, you recognize it, or at least kind of recognize it. It looks like the individual who is in the robes, but he seems to have some extra parts.
Okay, Miriam takes her necklace off and is getting ready to brandish it at that thing.
And you guys can give me a perception awareness as well.
That shovel that was in her hands is right in front of her.
Nope.
1, 2, 3. I don't know if you're gonna let me have detail oriented, but if that's the case, it's epic.
Yeah, we'll go with it.
2, 3, 4. Yeah, she's got 5 successes on that. Then
This, Michelle, this almost feels like a vampire, but it seems completely unlike any kindred you've encountered before.
the hell?
And Miriam, do you still have Prime Sight up, I assume?
Yeah.
To you, you would see that the pattern of whatever this is has apparently been. It looks like multiple patterns that were fused together haphazardly, and there's a lot of entropic and spiritual resonance to it.
Yeah, Miriam's going to try to fucking repel this thing. What's its willpower?
8.
Can I get like a kindred lore or Giovanni lore or something?
Fuck!
Yeah, you can. Holly, you can give me a kindred lore or either one, whichever's more.
They're both the same. So
Okay.
If it is a vampire, it can't approach us now, but
Oh.
it's not running away.
Good thing you can't botch True Faith, huh?
Yeah, well, you can botch True Faith. It's called losing faith, and then that makes you lose that nice 7-point merit all the way gone.
Oh dang. Yeah, I had 1.
But you can't botch a True Faith roll, so...
Right. I actually...
By the way, Holly, your character can't approach Miriam, but...
Nope, I can't.
Yay!
Miriam, you can also give me a intelligence esoterica roll. And Holly, you had 1, you said?
Yep.
It seems to be
Nothing.
like a artificially created vampire. It's not truly a kindred. There's no
Miriam-
element of Cain's curse or anything. No.
Miriam is apparently too freaked out to figure out what it is.
Okay.
Okay.
There's no sign of the typical marks of vampirism, but it appears to be like a warped facsimile of it, as well as being almost a number of people fused together. And it does approach you in a fairly hostile manner.
I was just gonna say, I'm gonna spend some blood to up my dex and bash this thing in the face with the shovel.
I will give you the surprise action, and then we'll roll initiative.
Okay. I'm gonna drop 2 so I can up my dex. So 2, 3, 4. My melee. Oh, well, that's gonna be epic. Alright, here. No, I don't. I think about swinging it, apparently, but nothing.
Are we going to have another one of those nights, Holly?
Apparently we are.
You don't understand. I had a whole combat scene where I was literally just caressing enemies and flinging butterflies at them.
Yeah, I don't think she had a single combat blow that actually landed. I think every one of them was a failure at best, if I recall.
I'm going to roll a bunch of dice to try to get all the bad rolls out. Give me a moment.
Miriam, you can also give me a intelligence mage lore if you'd like.
If we're gonna start combat, do you care if I step outside while she's doing this?
Nope, that's fine.
I got it on mage lore.
You recognize that the robes, which obviously were made for a human and have since been somewhat, they're kind of stretched, taut, and twisted, but some of the symbols seem hermetic.
God damn hermetics!
And then we can roll initiative, and we'll have Holly roll when she gets back in.
All right. And Miriam's got a decent initiative. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 13.
All right. I was reading too many various editions of Mage books. I have to start checking things in M20 to make sure my brain is in the right version.
Yeah, Mage is one of the ones that revises so heavily.
Yeah, well, right. There's so much variance between them. I was going to include Sean in this, but I haven't seen him on, so it ended up being a.
The great thing about Mage is it's one of the few games where you can show someone your character sheet and have them you can ask, so what do my powers do? And the only actual answer the ST can give you is stuff.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay, we need an Anish.
Yes.
Yep.
I actually heard you through my headphones when I was walking away. Or-
So you were eavesdropping on a conversation that you were part of?
10. My Anish is 10. I was
Okay.
sort of eavesdropping.
So we're going lowest declares first, or
What's that?
are we doing it in Anish order or lowest declare first?
I generally just go in initial order.
Okay.
So. And the creature actually got first.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, it.
Yeah. I am going to say this. Before anything, I will be spending blood. Just a heads up.
Okay.
Well, I don't think either. I don't think Miriam has time, and Holly doesn't have celerity, so I don't have to play the extra
Nope.
actions game.
Nope. I'm upping my stamina with that blood.
That's fine. The creature actually kind of lumbers forward. Miriam, since you kind of approached it, well, no, Holly, you swung with the shovel, so you're going to get swung at first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holly
that's-
swung with the shovel. Miriam's given it a "you can't approach me" thing.
And it actually reaches up, it grabs one of the excess arms that are hanging off of it, and it tears it off and swings it at you like a club with 3 to hit. And I'm assuming you're not dodging.
Well, I mean, I don't have celerity, so I don't have an extra action.
Right, so you can spend your only action to dodge or take it. Technically, you could parry, but
If
Yes, I was
yeah.
contemplating swinging the shovel again.
I would
Parrying it,
I would
but-
dodge it because you've got 2 other people here to do fire support.
True.
It is against 1 target, so
Yeah, there's 3 of us. Yeah, I'll dodge it. 'Cause this thing is. I know that it's some weird thing. 3. Exactly. I have an epic dodge roll, haha. 4 dice. Dodge 1.
All right.
Hey, at
well,
least it does less damage.
Yep.
Roll that terrible, terrible damage.
But yeah, that's why I spent blood and stamina.
1, 2, 3, and it's bludgeoning, so you take half. So,
Oh, of half of 3 if I don't. Oh, well, hey, I only soak 2 anyway.
yeah.
So half of 1 is nothing.
Yeah,
Right. 'Cause
exactly.
You're round down, so.
Yep. Okay.
So it clubs you, but you kind of shrug it off.
Kidding me?
Yeah, Miriam's going to draw and then enchant her pistol.
Okay. And it is Miriam's action, so.
This is practically a road at this point. So, hey, look, the pistol does ag. And what does Vittoria do?
Well, that's a great question, because he didn't really show up intending to have this fight. So he has a shovel.
Hey, it's a
But
weapon.
Hey, I brought a gun to a shovel fight.
he's not a physical guy either. That's the other downside.
I'm not either.
No, like he's really not. He has 2 dex, 3 dex, 2 stamina, and 1 strength. But he can, since he's at the point he's assuming there's no sleepers around, he will instead.
Holy balls!
He touches your shovel, Holly, and he's murmuring under his breath in Italian, and then he kind of just steps back and gestures towards the shovel.
Got it.
And you kind of feel it almost shift like it's alive a little bit. So it doesn't seem to affect your grip, but there's something more to it.
All right.
And then it would be to you.
Well, I'm obviously taking a swing on it with the shovel.
You dodged.
Oh yeah, I dodged. You're
Oh,
right.
you're right. You did dodge.
Yep.
Yep.
Back to the creature.
Yep.
And it saw Miriam's pistol, but it's not quite close enough to reach. So it throws an arm at you.
Yeah, well, I can't dodge it.
No, at Miriam.
Oh.
I'm gonna take it
Okay.
because I've got a pistol that does ag. I'm gonna use it. So,
And you took 1 bashing damage out of that.
hey, let's see if I can soak 1 on my 2 stamina.
Yeah, and it's bashing, so you can...
Oh yeah. And Miriam's going to quip, "Who throws an arm? Honestly!" shoot the fucker. 3.
So it 3 to hit?
Yep.
Okay. Well, it can't dodge.
Okay. Soaking 1 ag. Damn it.
Oh boy.
Well, at least it's ag.
Right?
All right. Then it goes to Marcella's action.
Well, I will swing the shovel with my epic amount of dice here. Yeah. Oh, hey! 3 to hit.
Yep.
Good night, buddy. All right. 3, 4, 5. Any damage for the shovel itself?
It's egg damage now.
Okay.
He did the same thing Miriam did to her own pistol.
Yeah.
Oh, well, hey, guess what? I have 1.
So you guys have done 2 egg, and it will be then
Yeah.
Victoria.
This shovel seems to be, even though it was a glancing blow, it seemed to do a lot more damage than it should have. Huh.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, so when you hit it, you can basically see a welt rising up and hear things breaking and all kinds of good stuff.
Oh, boy.
And I suppose that leads to Vittorio, who will... Oh, what will Vittorio do, since he's not at all a combat guy? Not good, that's for sure.
No.
Well, he's going to... He reaches down to the stone, and yeah, we'll have him do that. 'Cause that's appropriate to him. No, we won't have him do that. He tries to do something and it fails.
Okay.
So you can hear him. He seems to be using his fingertip to try and write something on the stone, but whatever he was trying to do doesn't seem to accomplish anything.
Oh, boy.
And then you hear some more Italian cursing. And rolls back to the creature, who will then use... let me look here. Ooh, excuse me.
Okay. So it's the creatures go? Oh.
Yeah, it seems...
Butterfly guns.
Well, it kind of snarls at you and seems to try to say something. Obviously, it's pretty deformed, so it's not able to, but whatever it was trying to do seems to sizzle as well. And Miriam, it will be back to you, as well as needing a perception awareness from you, please.
Okay. 1.
You notice that when both Vittorio and this creature tried to work magic, when they failed, the energy seemed to kind of bleed off and disappear into the same crevice or what have you that at one point appeared to have been full.
Jesus God.
It didn't refill it, but it seemed to pour through that crevice into somewhere.
Okay, so there's something sucking all the prime out of the room. Good to know. Well, Miriam's going to pump another ag bullet into it.
Okay.
3 to hit.
That'll hit.
Sweet.
Oh.
1 ag damage. Chipping away at it.
Yeah, you're getting there.
Slowly but surely. We're getting there.
And then it goes to Marcella's action.
Okay, no. Good God, no, that's a botch.
So you botched on your hit.
Yep.
As you swung, you kind of clipped some of the bones that were sticking out of the dirt, and the shovel seems to kind of quiver, and it starts to feel like a normal shovel again. And Miriam, you saw the prime, that energy that had infused it was bled off when it hit the bones.
Okay,
So,
that'll give her an idea at that point.
okay. It's back to the creature, who will maybe have better luck. The dice don't seem to be with me on either side. No, not at all. Actually, as you watch, the body of this creature kind of starts to decay and wither, and basically rot away a little bit.
Yeah.
So whatever it tried to do to you, you would venture a guess probably rebounded on itself somehow.
Paradox.
What's that?
Paradox.
I win, haha. Probably look at one.
Yeah, Miriam, you would have recognized that as some sort of paradox
Out of
backlash.
curiosity, does this thing have any prime in him? Because I do have prime side up, so.
It does not appear to be.
Ah, fuck.
Dumb dog.
I was gonna smash him over the head with one of those bones, and hope that it sucks all the prime out of him.
So that's what's odd about it, is it seems to be some sort of construct almost of entropy and spirit.
Yeah.
But it is back to you, Miriam.
Okay. I'm guessing by now the effect, because I only have one success to enchant my gun. My gun is worn off.
Yep.
Oh, since it seems to be just as effective, Miriam's going to enchant Holly's shovel from a distance, because correspondence.
Okay.
I have the correspondence to do this. Wee.
All right.
So yeah, Miriam raises a hand and prays in Hebrew, and hey, look, your shovel feels awesome again.
Oh, sweet.
Although this time it does seem to be a different feeling. You know that when Vittorio did it, it kind of felt animated, almost like when you make a zombie. Miriam
Okay.
seems to have a different type of feel to it.
With Miriam, it feels purple, is the only way to describe it.
Purple.
Purple. Because
Okay.
magic is purple,
Okay.
obviously.
Purple. It's the key color. Got it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm assuming Miriam doesn't have an entropic undeath resonance to her magic.
No, her, if the resonance rules were still in effect, hers would be redefined.
Yeah, I use it more as flavor than rules. So
Yeah, hers would be a pattern resonance of redefined.
okay, perfect. So it is Marcella's action, and she has a purple shovel. It feels purple. It's
Yeah,
not.
it
It's
doesn't
not
look
visually purple.
It feels purple.
It is one of those nights.
Yeah, apparently. So
This wasn't a botch, it was a fail. No successes.
Yep. Vittorio will take his shovel and just swing it, even though it's just a normal shovel. And he actually has two, so. And he does 4 bashing, which it can, in theory, soak, which it does not soak. And it does seem to stagger a little bit just because of the ferocity of his blow. Let's go. And he breaks the handle of his shovel, too. So the head of his shovel is laying on the floor, and he's stuck holding a sharp pointy stick. Goes back to the creature to act. And it will... Jesus Christ. It does turn one of its arms into a what appears to be a shield of bone.
Ooh.
And Holly, if you want to roll me a intelligence kindred lore, Miriam too if you have it, but
I don't have kindred lore.
okay.
I got a 10.
Okay. It almost looks like some, as odd as this sounds, some warped version of vicissitude, flesh crafting. It's operating kind of under the same principles as a flesh crafter would, but it's not as smooth or as well honed.
Okay.
And then it's Miriam's action.
All right. Now she's just gonna pump it with another bullet.
Just a
Not
regular
bothering to enchant it. Just lethal damage is still lethal.
Right.
2 to hit.
Okay.
Good call. It's soaking 3.
Oh.
All right. Well, it wanted its shield ready for that shovel coming in, so it. Yeah, it's not soaking 3. It's soaking 1.
Yep.
And when the bullet hits, it does kind of stagger. And you notice the bullet wound. This, obviously, your other ones being as aggressive as they were, because they were infused, did horrific damage. But this is just a clean bullet wound, and it does seem to bleed a little bit, but it's not bleeding like a living creature bleeds. It's more of just kind of seeping out of an opening.
Yep.
And Marcella, it's your action with your shovel.
Yeah, my shovel and I are best pals. Not really.
Me and my shovel.
F it. I know it's going to be a higher diff, but at this point, this corpse is starting to piss Marcella off.
You could try and use the shovel head as a blade alternatively, too.
I was actually going to take a jab and just go for the face.
Okay. So we'll go with the diff 7. You're trying to use it as a spear.
And is it point blank? Oh,
Yeah,
hey. Either way, I would have had it anyway, even if it stayed the usual diff. So I got 2 to hit. Is it dodging?
No, it was preparing to block a swing against its body, so it had its shield lower.
Okay, so I got 4 dice to roll for damage.
Plus, it took its action this turn. So.
No damage.
one damage automatically. But
yeah.
Anytime you hit, you do a minimum of 1.
Okay.
So you do kind of gash its face open, but it doesn't seem to care a whole lot.
Okay. My shovel jabbing in the face is over.
And Vittorio will... Fuck it, he's going to do something crazy. And he does succeed, but not by much, but he succeeds, by God.
Better than nothing.
Well, right. Then he swings that. 2. And he seems to trace some words onto the wooden handle and murmur in Italian again. And then he he does it as he's lunging with it. So he's muttering as he lunges forward, and does for quite a bit of damage. He buries it right through the gash in the head that you had opened, and it comes out the other side. And he kind of staggers back. And this thing is just reeling. It's still on its feet, but you can tell it's almost down. And it's got a stick sticking through its head. So
Sweet.
its action. It does hit you with its shield, Holly.
Okay.
Basically, it just kind of sideswipes you.
Okay, so what am I soaking?
2 bashing damage.
Okay. So I have 1.
And they'll need a Dex Athletics afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah, you should okay, just fine.
Yeah. 3, and then you need a Dex Athletics.
Correct.
Okay, 3, 4. Nope.
Okay.
No.
So
Oh, way no.
that would be a botch.
Yeah, way no.
So even though you don't take the damage from it, it hits you with the shield hard enough that you actually trip into the hole in the concrete and you're laying on the dirt and bones.
Oh, sexy.
So,
Very sexy.
does she say that? Because I wouldn't put it past her.
No, she's not saying that. She's
Okay.
probably thinking it, though.
And then it's back to...
Miriam doesn't want to leave finishing this thing off to chance. So she's going to do a correspondence effect to basically force the bullet when it fires to end up in the thing.
Okay,
It's
so the
a vulgar
bullet
correspondence effect, but it's just...
Yeah, because the bullet's actually not firing out of the gun, correct?
No, the bullet's firing out of the gun, so it has the momentum. But
Right.
it doesn't travel between the gun and it. It travels out of the... Before it even leaves the barrel, it's in it with all that momentum. But unfortunately, I get 1 point of paradox instead of the 3 I was expecting. Because I botched it.
Oh, no.
So Miriam tries that and gets a nosebleed. Wah, wah.
We're having a lovely little battle here.
Yes.
Actually, the paradox is worse on a botch, according to M20.
Oh, God.
Botch is vulgar without witnesses. You get 1 point plus 1 per dot in the highest sphere.
Sweet. So she does get the three points. I
Yep.
thought that was if it succeeded. I thought if you botched, you automatically always get 1.
No, I think it's the other way around. I think with vulgar you always get 1, but if you...
Yeah. Okay, so she gets 3 points of paradox. So, yeah, she gets a really bad nosebleed.
Ooh. Lovely. Okay. I'm hanging out in a pile of bones. Yay!
Yeah, and it would be your action.
Oh, well, I probably have to spend my action getting up.
Well, given this thing staggering around with a stick through its head, you can get up as your movement if you would like.
Yep.
So then you will still have your action.
Is it within Shovel's reach?
Yes.
Alright. This is just a basic. And then... Okay, I got 1 to hit.
Okay.
Well, here's my epic, damage roll. Got 2.
And it goes down. And it doesn't turn to ash like a vampire would, but it does seem to crumble.
Okay.
Not into flesh either, and just into, like, basically dust, dirt. Actually, you would recognize it as bone dust. And Miriam, if you still have Prime Sight up, you just see just a tremendous amount of entropic energy course through this thing.
Yeah, I probably lost the prime sight when I got 3 dots of paradox.
Probably.
Yeah.
You're right. So, I do need... Let's see, we'll have Miriam roll.
And this is up to you as an ST, but does this paradox manifest as immediate damage or...
No, it did not trigger as backlash.
Okay, good.
What do you have for a total paradox pool right now?
Well, at the moment, that would be just that 3, so...
Okay. And that's fine. You actually, as this thing crumbles, the paradox is bled off you too into this void. So you kind of just feel it draining away, I guess, because you have Prime Sight off.
Yeah. Miriam blinks a couple of times and goes, "Now that is odd."
Yeah.
And
Normally things that drain prime give you paradox, she says, looking at Vittorio.
he's kind of looking a little bit dumbfounded, and he gestures.
Yeah,
towards
Marcella's
the
trying to
whole-
figure out something more in regards to this dusty bone guy.
Well, he is the robes and possessions are still there.
She'll go look through those.
Well, there's a wallet in it, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Yep, she
I was
pulls
gonna
out the
ask
wallet and
before I
looks
did
in it.
I was going to ask before I did it, but I'm going to go destroy all evidence that he was ever here.
The bone thing.
The guy in the robe that's over
Okay.
there.
So you're gonna go.
I'm gonna go kill the camera footage
Okay.
with a big magnet. I'll be right back. And Miriam
Okay.
heads out to her car and comes back with a big old electromagnet.
Yeah, I'm going through the wallet and anything else that is in this guy's possession. Or in the robes.
Well, you do find a book as well.
Okay, I pick up the book and look at the book.
And it's a journal, or what appears to be a journal.
I flip through some of the pages.
Fuck it. We'll say it's in English for no reason not to. It appears to be a journal documenting efforts by this cabal to reform House Tremere as a mage house. But towards the back, you find sketches of a number of ritual circles, including this one.
Okay.
And the notes under it appear to they speak of resurrection or reincarnation of Tremere.
What the hell? She looks at she's looking through it like, oh boy. Oh.
The last page that's written on, and it's written in a different handwriting, and it has just has a note that the masters are delaying again, and that they will not wait any longer. And that was dated for this morning.
Guys, looks like, yeah, I was definitely right about blood magic. They're talking about rebuilding House Tremere. Look, and she'll just hand Vittorio the journal, and she's gonna go through the wallet.
Okay. There's a number of different credit cards in here. They all appear to be under different names. Um,
Any ID?
there is a driver's license for Minneapolis.
Miriam's going to come back in with a whole bunch of very dead hard drives.
Okay. Vittorio hands you what looks to be a journal, and like basically a modern journal. I mean, this looks like a Walmart special.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I do have to ask. The ID, are any of the names on the credit cards matching the name on the ID?
Two of them do, but there are four other credit cards that don't seem to match.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
I'll keep this
Miriam will read the journal. It's that they're trying to rebuild House Tremere, if I
Yeah, they're from what you can glean, they're part of the order. They want to rebuild House Tremere in secret, and this ritual was intended to somehow resurrect or reincarnate Tremere.
God damn, hermetics.
The masters wanted to. The last notice that the masters wanted to wait to find a better wellspring and confluence, but that they were not going to wait anymore.
God damn, hermetics.
I don't know why do I have a feeling that Jade is going to want to hear about this one. She rolls her eyes.
Here, want some dead hard drives?
Vittorio gestures to the floor and where the hole was and looks at you, Miriam, and says, "Are you seeing what I'm seeing?"
Yeah, I'm seeing what you're seeing.
She's looking at what you guys are looking at, but she obviously isn't going to see what you're seeing unless.
Miriam, did you reactivate
Thank
your
you,
crime
others.
site?
She's gonna bring it back up at this point.
Hopefully.
There you go.
Okay. The wellspring appears to not have quintessence in it, but seems to almost have. Really, if for lack of a better word, it's almost the energies of paradox kind of swirling in the bottom of it. There's
Yeah.
not a lot there, but it appears to have started. That has actually gathered. Well,
It seems like in doing this they've made an antinode.
Vittorio says
Anti-
that's what concerns me, that they've perhaps inverted the wellspring itself.
Oh, that means we're going to need to do a lot of screwing with the consensus in this place to fix it.
He chuckles and he says, "Or convince the technocrats to come in and just build their consensus, because that should just obliterate it."
Oh, there's that.
But
Or get a bunch of at the very least get a bunch of Cult of Ecstasy people to get high down here. That should fix it.
true, he said that creates a pretty liberal consensus.
Yeah.
And he actually sets a clipboard with some official-looking paperwork next to the on the crate next to the hole, and he puts some traffic cones around it, like some orange cones and caution tape. And he says, "I suspect we should take the bodies out of here and probably scrub up the circle, but
That's a
hole,
good idea.
Yeah.
the actual hole in the concrete I already had taken care of. I wasn't anticipating this."
No.
He kind of shakes his head and he says, "It's a shame. It would have been a potent wellspring for my purposes."
We probably don't want to use any powers in moving the bodies.
He nods towards Marcella and he says, "Well, I suspect she'll be okay."
Well, she's one of your cousins, but I don't know. But I think this amount of paradox might even affect them.
He kind of shrugs and says, "Well,"
It'd be the first time I've had to move one physically.
and Vittorio says, "Well, we should just make sure no one's on the running trail. I know there's no cameras on the back side of the building, just the one over the hallway."
I'll go
I
and
haven't
take a
I haven't
look.
had to move bodies since I was assigned to a medical ship. That wasn't fun.
To each their own. Marcella smiles. And yeah, she'll go check outside if we're going to move the bodies, make sure we're at least clear for now.
Give me a perception alertness.
I'm going to guess detail-oriented counts here.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, you can tell that it's pretty much that there's nobody around. There's traffic on the main road, but it doesn't have line of sight to you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's late night in an industrial zone.
Yeah.
She'll head back and say things look clear for now.
So
All right.
Vittorio starts kind of lugging
Yeah.
one. He's not a big guy, but he's able to kind of fireman carry one.
Miriam grabs one in a fireman's carry as well.
Yep, I'll grab one.
And Vittorio chuckles as he gets to the stairs. He gestures to the concrete saw and he says, "Might make it easier."
Oh, it might, but
Right.
But he wrestles it up the stairs and out to the car.
yeah.
Yep.
He's and
What-
Miriam, you'd notice that he has a hearse here, and it's actually got emblazoned on the side. It's for the local cemetery he works at.
Excellent.
Oddly, there are about 6 igloo coolers in the back.
Hey, if you're working in that line of work, I expect you to get drunk very often.
So he moves those igloo coolers to one side and starts kind of piling the bodies on the other.
Yeah, Miriam will help pile bodies.
Yep, helping pile bodies. There's 5 of them. Well, yeah.
There was 4, so
4? Okay, so we only
So
need
there's-
to add one more.
one more inside. Yep. And he says he can keep watch if you guys want to grab the last one.
All right.
So.
I can go grab it. Not a big deal.
And then when Marcella runs inside, he asks you, Miriam, what was this about the technocratic base? And I assume you pretty much tell him about the report you found.
All right, so get all the bodies into the car.
Yeah,
Yep.
Marcella went back in for the last one, and while she's going inside, Vittorio's going to ask you, what's this about a technocratic base?
There's a power plant near the vineyard, about half a mile away from it. Well, I'll send you the information. She grabs out her cell phone
Okay.
and she specifically, because she's paranoid as fuck that they might listen in on stuff. So she specifically puts it onto a flashcard and hands it over.
Okay. I thought you were going to tell me she's actually got like this old Motorola that doesn't do anything, and she just uses correspondence. Everything's correspondence.
That'd be easy.
She
That'd
just
be
uses
easy.
the Motorola to make it coincidental.
No, it's just doink, doink, doink.
Okay.
She's got a really fancy schmancy smartphone that she has never given the number to anyone.
Okay.
She just
So she uses
burner phones. She's got like 3 fucking prepaid crap phones on her person, and if someone
That's right. She even gave a burner phone to Tarsus, didn't she?
Yeah, she gave a burner phone number to Tarsus, and it's basically if any one of those 3 phones gets compromised, it gets tossed out. She buys another one.
Nice.
He says he'll look into it further later. It may be something for the mage council, but
It should be. I've got.
Well, certainly it will be put under observation. They may rely on some of the newer members of the city to help act on it, as with everything going on in the city, there's not a huge mage population considering the amount of issues happening
Exactly.
lately.
I've gotten
So,
Jade involved.
well, that doesn't hurt. He kind
It
of
shouldn't.
gestures to Marcella and says, "Certainly, the kindred can be potent allies."
Yes, they can. We're trying to get the shifters involved as well.
He does read, and then he shakes your hand and he says, "Well, I appreciate the information and your help tonight. I would have been on my league with those security systems.
Not a problem.
Not to mention whatever that
They are
was."
going to know someone was in the security room.
Well, that's not the worst thing in the world. If they don't have videotape, we can.
Exactly. Well, they don't have hard drives, and
Yeah.
even if they did have hard drives, I ran them over with an electromagnet tied to a car battery. So they don't have hard drive. They don't have working. They wouldn't have working hard drives even if they had hard drives.
Well, that makes it easier because a mysterious fault with their security system is a lot, and missing hard drives is a lot easier than, hey, look, a bunch of people, including a guy in robes, came in, and then these other guys came in and dragged out some bodies.
Yeah.
So I appreciate your help on the matter.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if we were until we saw the thing. I wasn't the Mister throws an arm at people.
Well,
I wasn't sure if we were going to leave just enough footage for him to be under a manhunt, but
my suspicion, um, given what it was, is that, and based off this journal, is that the ritual, whether it's because Marcella and I interrupted it or simply due to amateur practitioners, went wrong, and so it triggered partially, but the instead of summoning the spirit they wanted and putting it into a vessel, it instead summoned and basically merged all the vessel and the other four practitioners. So I suspect that Marcella and I showing up probably significantly interrupted.
well, that might do it.
Well, again, if they were
We may
using
want
as
to.
much fuel as that wellspring had,
Are there any hermetics in the city besides the counselor?
yeah, they have an established chantry here. They have a young apprentice, a newcomer to the city, as well as a couple of other practitioners.
I say we investigate this before we tell them we know.
I agree. If anything, I would say I can potentially speak with Cornelius. He is one of their practitioners, and the guy is an absolute genius on rituals. So perhaps I can simply say, hey, I found this ritual in an old book. Here's a circle, and this, that, and the other thing. Does it hold any merit?
I'm gonna inform Tarsus.
That would probably be a prudent decision as well. He seems to have eyes and ears in many places, and has somewhat taken upon himself to reach out to some of the newcomers of the city more than the rest of us.
He's very kind about that. He offered the use of his wellspring to me.
Well, I suspect he's already taken the newly awakened Akashic under his wing too, and
Yes,
there are two
Ryu
others who are.
is.
Well, Ryu is one of the newer ones to the city, but I was speaking of Blaine, who is very newly awakened. In fact, Tertius helped ease him into his awakening. Quite a fascinating tale, and might be worth asking sometime. The man has the tongue of a bard, and the liquor tolerance of one too, I think.
Well, I'm gonna need to test my own liquor tolerance after tonight.
I don't blame you. You could check his meads. Otherwise, if you do go to visit Hugo, and you mention what happened, I'm sure he'd be happy to.
Get that flashcard to Armor of God.
I'm sure Marcella's probably dragging the body back up by now.
Yeah,
Yep.
he says I'll certainly make sure I pass this on. I'll be seeing him more urgently.
All right, and Miriam will help Marcella get it into get it into the car.
Okay.
And then we should probably grab the robes and whatnot too. They're still down there.
I'll take care of those. Get them to
Uh,
someone. Get them to someone who can look them over.
Vittorio asks what all was in the wallet.
There were multiple credit cards and an ID. 4 of them had different names, and 2 of them were the same that matched the ID.
He'll kind of raise an eyebrow when you mention the ones with different names and look at Miriam and say, you want to look into those perhaps too?
Sure. Hand me all the credit cards that don't match his name.
All right. She hands those to him,
Yeah.
to you, and she's actually wants to look over them. She actually had a plan and whatnot too. She's gonna look into them.
Well, Miriam's just going to basically whip out her laptop at that point and is going to run checks on the numbers.
Perfect.
So they you can roll I would assume a computer hacking for that.
Yep.
And I realized computer hacking's technically like 3 rolls, but since it's NPC story driving,
Well,
fine.
this would just be computers actually because
Right.
it's running a credit check, not a
Sure.
I'm going to break into a bank and steal the information.
Yep. They all come back as valid. Oddly, they're all registered to the same address here in the city.
Neat. She's going to note the address, and now she's going to do a computer hacking to drain the accounts.
Okay.
So,
She looks at Vittoria. Marcella looks at Vittoria. You still have that journal?
He holds it up.
Let me see it. She's gonna try to scan through it and keep going through it to find out more.
all right.
Okay.
How much can I pull out of these accounts?
Well, as you're going to pull them out, you discover that apparently these are set up to be auto paid from a trust fund.
Neat.
And the name the trust fund just has one name on it, but it's the name of the driver's license in the first place.
Okay.
So
She's gonna redirect the auto payment.
okay.
Set it to go to her hidden account.
Ooh.
Perfect.
Hey, she steals credit cards for a living. Of course, she has a hidden account.
So
And at that point, she'll share the information. They're all registered to one address, and they were set to auto pay from that guy's account.
seems someone didn't want anyone tracking his purchases unless they were very good at what they do.
Yes. And now his trust fund will slowly trickle into my account. Mwahahaha.
Well, probably prudent if you do it as discrete payments. It shouldn't be very obvious.
It's exactly as discreet as he made it.
Well, good plan.
There you go.
Nice. She's literally just leaned up against the hearse reading this journal.
All right.
Does that give you another dot of whatever?
One moment.
Vittorio will recommend that perhaps Miriam should take the journal when she leaves. Once you're done looking through it.
I will go check out that address sometime in the morning.
Okay. We
Yeah,
can
well-
blue book that too if you want.
Yeah, that seems like something the Blue Book, but she's saying in character. I'm going to
Right.
check out that address sometime in the morning.
He says, "All right. Well, certainly welcome to keep me posted."
I'll definitely keep you posted. Make sure the info I gave you gets to the right people.
He says, "I can pass that along." And then
Yeah.
he hands you a key card, like a key fob would be.
Okay.
And he says, if you ever need another alternative, I have a couple of and he kind of does the air quotes a little bit, and he says, offices under the church at the cemetery.
All right.
He said, this one will get you into the third or the last office on the right-hand side in the basement, but it's that's the only key card I have for that.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Vittorio.
And then he'll bid you good night. He says, I want to get these into proper storage before someone starts asking questions.
Yeah. She's still just casually reading through that journal.
All right.
And he'll open the door for Marcella.
And Miriam will nod to
Why,
her,
thank you.
Miss Giovanni, and
Pleasure to meet you, Miriam.
likewise. And Miriam will hop into her station wagon and drive off.
Okay.
And she'll get in the car.
All right. Yeah, Vittorio closes the door, comes around, gets in the car, and Zeta crawls out of his pocket now and over kind of into your lap.
She looks down at the hand in her lap and just gives it a nice little pat.
And it kind of folds up into your, almost into like a loosely curled fist in your lap.
Okay.
And Vittorio kind of gestures to the journal because I'm assuming you still have it.
Yep.
And he says, I wouldn't go waving that around too widely.
No.
He
I don't intend to say anything unless I need to.
he drives you home, and he says, well, it certainly was an exciting evening. Certainly not how I intended for it to go.
Certainly wasn't expecting to get into a shovel fight.
He chuckles and he says, well, I suppose Mortician and Undertaker walk into a basement, right?
Right. How appropriate. Shovels.
He'll walk you to your door, and he'll kind of give you at least a peck on each cheek,
Yep,
traditional.
she'll do the same.
And he'll say, maybe next time I'll have to just take you out for dinner. It might be more exciting.
Who knows? Will we need shovels?
He says, well, from the stories I hear about our family, that's a definite possibility.
It very much is.
He says, I apologize it wasn't much of a first date, but I appreciate your assistance nonetheless.
My pleasure. My pleasure. You got some more parts, I see, at least.
He says, I do. Perhaps I can put some other things together for you. Although probably not with quite the personality of Zeta. And she kind of clambers discreetly up onto your shoulder.
She is friendly.
And then he'll wait until you're inside, on the porch, and then he'll leave.
All right, yep. She'll go inside with her hand pal. Apparently. Yep.
And then he gets in his hearse and drives off.
There we go.
And I think that should do it, unless you have anything else to take care of.
Nope.
All right. Well, that's been another Minneapolis by Night Mage edition. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for plenty of more scenes.